Hi, hello, and welcome to day 5 of Vlogmas for 2025. My name is Rose, and today I really wanted to get into kind of my kick in the backside of why I'm really starting to take this journey of mine a little bit more serious. I have been overweight most of my life. I started really gaining weight in high school and on. Before then, I was a pretty skinny kid, mostly due to the fact that I have sensory issues that do bleed into the food arena. So I had a very limited choice of food, and my mother always tried to make like the safe foods as healthy as possible. So when I got into high school and stuff, I really was able to expand my palate into a lot of unhealthy things, and then I was dealing with working through a lot of trauma that I had sustained as a minor, and Bob's your uncle. I was eating more than I was moving, and now I'm fat. But I have recently had a child. She is now 3.5. And she's kind of she proverbially like kicked my ass the other day in a lot of ways, like 110% emotional damage, and it really kind of rocked me back, and I had to really sit and kind of marinate in what I was feeling. And for me, it kind of was just the nail in the coffin. So I have knowledge that my blood work from my annual last year was pretty atrocious. My A1C was at like 5.6, so that's 1 point away from being diabetic. My numbers were all over the place. Most of them were out of range, and I didn't care. Cause like it's just me. Like I don't care. Like I'll worry about it like when I get diagnosed with the thing, right? And the answer is, well, I need to live for my child. Ideally, I would like to live a long and happy life with my husband, but he would be okay without me. My daughter needs me for the next however long I live. And so about 6 months ago, I started kind of dabbling in what my body feels best doing while getting healthier. And for me, that's keto/carnivore. My myriad of chronic illnesses seem to function the best on the lowest inflammation diet that I can manage. And for me, that's cutting most of the carbs out of my diet. But regardless of that, I was sitting on the couch with my daughter the other day, and I've got, not trip over my cat here. I've got a tummy, and I've got a fupa. And she looked at my lower abdomen, and she said, "Change diaper." And I about lost it. I just started laughing because, like, what else am I supposed to do when your candid, very candid 3-year-old comes up to you and says, like, you're busting, like you need to go change your diaper. And so I took the time to explain to her, well, that like mommy doesn't wear diapers. Mommy's just fat. And then we had some fun, like poking it and playing with it, and then she was over it. The second thing that really happened is I can't keep up with my kid. Like, she wants to play, and I'm having to constantly tell her, mommy can't, mommy needs to go sit down. And part of that is my chronic bullshit, but a lot of that is I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath just existing, which is 100% on me, on my body size. And the third thing that happened specifically with her is yesterday, actually. We were home because she was not feeling well. So I called her out of her program. And we were playing with my tummy. And we were poking at it and having fun and digging in it and whatever. Like she was having a good time. And I don't care. And we were like, and she kept saying, oh, fluffy. And I'm like, no, honey, like this is fat. I kept correcting her. And she kept calling me fluffy. And she's at the point now where she's starting to notice. She's starting to notice differences in bodies, in muscle, in, ability, ages, stuff like that. Like she's in that little pocket of awareness. And I, as her same-sex parent, I am statistically more likely to be the person that she looks up to. And for me, I don't want her to look up to this. I don't want her to emulate over-consuming food. Being an absolute, like your biggest bully. I don't want her to be me. Which means I need to change while she is young enough not to remember. Or young enough to go, oh, like this is what we're doing. All right, look, I want to get involved. And then, it's all compounded with my mother and my grandma. So they are amazing human beings, and they go walking a lot. And there's a local park that they go to where they walk like 3 or 4 miles. I think my mom could probably go for 5, which is like, I don't understand, because I don't have that stamina. But my grandma, who is in her 80s, will walk that 3.5 miles just fine. And my grandpa, before he passed this year, was also doing like the 3 or so miles before his health declined. And I can't keep up. I cannot do the 3 miles. I can get about 1.5 miles, and then I'm done. And then my body breaks. Which then, sends me into a flare, which is unideal. And they get on me for it. And rightfully so. They should. They're, 2 to 3 times my age. Yeah, twice. Not quite 3 times, but whatever. Math is not my thing. And they're kicking my ass. I'm 32. And the 60 and the 80-year-old are literally leaving me in the dust. Which is unacceptable. It is 100% unacceptable. And the last thing is really, I am unable to be the kind of wife that I want to be. When my husband and I first got together, we'd go for walks. We'd go on handicap accessible words, like hiking trails, because that's what my body can do. He used to be a huge hiker, photographer kind of dealio. And we'd go to the gym together. We'd be healthy together. And I am the bad influence, and I have allowed us to stop doing that. It's also, obesity is impacting my chronic illnesses. You know, like the food that I'm eating mostly is impacting my ability to function. I can feel it when I eat a bunch of processed crap. I feel it straight into my spine. And I get a little pocket of inflammation over my torn disc. And it hurts. I can see it in my tracking of my heart rate. You know, I can hear it in my labored breathing. I'm literally standing here and I'm breathing hard because my body's not used to the cardiovascular load of even sitting here talking at a camera for 15 minutes. So yeah, the candor of my 3-year-old mixed with medical issues and family members who absolutely care enough to be obnoxious has really been my wake-up call in the last like 6 months or so. Yeah, I really need to figure out how to get a handle on my eating issues. So we're gonna start doing some grocery hauls, I think. I think I'm gonna start shaming myself into compliance, basically. If I have to put it on camera, I'm gonna be better. And we're gonna see how that works. So, yeah, that is really kind of what got me was candid comments from a 3-year-old. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.